Hey there, my name is Brady Lewin. I'm a police officer for the Sioux Falls Police Department. I'm currently assigned to the Community Resource Officer section of the police department. In my section of the department, we are focused on providing better outreach to the community and better communication from the department to the community. One of those ways that we provide better communication is through our yearly Citizens Police Academy that we host every spring. It's a 10-week in-depth series where we give you a look at our different sections, our specialty sections, all the way through just the breakdown of the departments. That program, unfortunately, is only held once a year, and it's limited to about 40 students. So we wanted to give the community a better look at what we do here within the police department. So we took the knowledge of the Citizens Police Academy and the request for having more transparency of the department, and we came up with this video series that we are going to roll out in 2021 throughout the year. Our goal in this video is to educate the citizens of Sioux Falls of the training that we have, the specialty sections that we have, the equipment that we use, and why we use it. So we hope you enjoy this video series that we are going to be rolling out here this year. The first installment of this video, we're going to start at the very beginning. We're going to be talking to Human Resources and talk about the requirements that it takes to get into the police department, the application process, and then we'll talk with one of our new officers that's recently gone through the training process and is just about to hit the streets for her field training section of the training process. So we hope you enjoy, and we hope you learn something from this video.
My name is Kaylee Ahrens, and I am a police officer with the Sioux Falls Police Department. I decided to become a police officer in Sioux Falls because I like the community and I really like the relationship between the community and the police department here in Sioux Falls. Becoming an officer for the Sioux Falls Police Department can take anywhere from 1 month to 5, 6, 7 months. For me personally, it only took about a month. But from some of my classmates, it took longer, approximately like 6 to 7 months. It all depends on when they have a class opening up and spots that are available. Usually you start out with the interview, and then you can get into a psychological exam, a medical exam, a polygraph, a background investigation. So it's a long process, but it's well worth it once you get all the way through. Something that I really appreciate here at Sioux Falls Police Department is the amount of training that we get prior to even going on the streets. They give you a lot of resources that you need to be able to go onto the street on your own. The City of Sioux Falls and the Sioux Falls Police Department are dedicated to giving quality training to the new recruits. They want to make sure that everybody has the tools that they need in their toolbox to serve and protect their community. Everybody here at the Sioux Falls Police Department is extremely encouraging and wants everybody to succeed. So if you ask anybody any questions, they are willing to help you at any length. Another thing that I appreciate working for Sioux Falls Police Department is that from day one, the day you get hired, you are already accumulating benefits and you're getting paid. So during your long training process, you are getting those benefits and they're taking care of you by getting you paid. Not all departments pay for your training. Some advice that I would give to somebody that's applying for Sioux Falls is to follow your dream. It doesn't matter if you don't have any law enforcement experience. In my class, we have people that have come from construction, pharmacy, healthcare, corrections, all over the board. So you don't have to have law enforcement experience. So my advice to you is going through the interview process is to always stay honest and follow your dream. My first few months working at Sioux Falls Police Department has been nothing short of incredible. The people here are extremely helpful. They want to see you succeed, and everybody wants you to be a part of the Sioux Falls Police Department family.
All right, so we just heard from one of our new officers about the training process and the application process that she just went through firsthand. I'm joined today with a hiring coordinator with the City of Sioux Falls, Crystal Peterson. Crystal, thanks for joining us today. I got a couple questions for the requirements of the police department job. Can you highlight some of the requirements that one has to have to apply for the police department?
You bet. I think one of the questions that we get asked is people assume you have to have a background in criminal justice, or that's what your degree should be from, but it's not the case. So for education, we're looking for an associate's degree, or at least 60 college credit hours from an accredited institution. And then for work experience, we'll also accept 2 years of certified law enforcement experience, or 2 years of military experience. And for certified law experience, that's from the State Academy and Peer. We do accept certified officers from other states as well. And then for military experience, that can be active duty or it can be guard experience.
And the post-high school education, can that be like a technical school, or does it have to be a college or university?
Great question. It can be technical school, it can be college or university.
Okay, and it don't have to have a police or a law enforcement degree. You can have an English major or a history major that can apply, correct?
You bet.
Excellent. Is there an age that you have to be able to apply, and then a maximum age?
Yeah, that's a great question. We do ask for applicants to be at least 21 by the date of the interview, and then no greater than 44 at the date of the interview.
So how often does the police department hire new officers?
So the position is posted all year long, and and so we're always looking at applications and screening them, and then we actually have interviews twice a month. And then as they go through the hiring process, then we go through 2 different phases. First is the oral interview phase, and then the second phase includes a number of background checks, including polygraph, psychological, criminal background, and medical. So from application to getting an offer, it can take up to 13 weeks. And so what we're looking to do is hire applicants for different recruit classes with the PD. So that can range depending on what the department's needs are, but we are looking to hire them in groups of recruits for training. Okay,
so you touched on a little bit, there's an oral interview and then several other interviews, such as a psychological. Can you just walk through the steps, how it would progress if someone was moving along through the process all the way to accepting a job offer from the Sioux Falls Police Department?
Yeah, you bet. So first is the oral interview, and that includes a panel. With COVID, it looks a little bit different, so we have less individuals at the table, but we're really looking to hear from a candidate on why they're interested in being a police officer, what made them interested in the job, and just a general background of who they are and their skills that they bring to the table. It does include a scenario. We'll show them a video and ask them to respond to that. And then once they pass the oral interview phase, then we would move through a series of background investigation. Starts with a psychological exam, and then after they pass that phase, then it would move to a polygraph and a full criminal background, and then after that phase, it would move to a medical job function test.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then when they go through all that, then you will look at when the openings are for the police department and let them know that your hire date will be on such and such time, and so they can give their previous employer notice.
Yeah, we can stay in good communication with people through the interview process to let them know where they're at. And there are a lot of factors that go into the background and the various checks in the application process. So yeah, we keep in good touch along the way, make sure we have good communication, and then once they get the offer, we hand them over to the training team, who also keeps in good touch with them to develop that relationship.
And you encourage people to reach out to you if they have any questions along the way, where they're standing in the process, if things are at a standstill or if they're progressing through, you don't have any problem with applicants reaching out to your office?
No, they can get a hold of me by a telephone call, or an email is great as well.
Excellent. That brings me to one of the big questions is, if I want to apply for the police department, how do I go about that? Where do I find applications for the department?
Great question. So there's a website where you can apply, siouxfalls.org, and then navigate to Human Resources. And then there's a page for police employment. And on that page, it actually lists the full job description, the wage, the qualifications. So if you're really curious about some other qualifications that are listed that I didn't talk about today, that page will have all those sources for you. Then there's a button. You just click to apply. You'll create an account in our online application system. If you've applied for other jobs at the city, you might have an application, or excuse me, an account that's already there, so you can use that. Then you just fill in the steps in the application. One good thing to consider as you're applying is to make sure to include a resume, and then a cover letter is great. It helps us understand a little bit about you and why you're interested in the job, and then include any certifications or training that you've got as well. So those documents are really helpful for us in that screening process.
Oh, excellent. That's a good pointer to make yourself more marketable and just stand out a little bit more. If I've gone through the process and say I make it to about halfway through, but something happens and I don't end up making it all the way, can I apply right away again, or is there a period of time that I have to wait to apply for the department again?
That's a great question. So we talked a little bit about having 2 different phases, and so as an applicant progresses through the phases, if they happen to not pass, they can apply 1 year from the date of the phase that they didn't pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you can think about that would be helpful in the application process?
You know, I think one thing that's a really good consideration, Brady, is to get to know the Sioux Falls Police Department and consider why you want to be a part of the team. And at the interview, help us understand what makes Sioux Falls PD appealing to you, why community policing is important, and what you see, how you see yourself fitting in to the Sioux Falls PD long term.
Excellent, great points. Well, thank you for breaking that down for us and helping us understand the process of how to apply for the police department, and appreciate all your help in helping us find new officers for the city.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Brady.
You bet, thank you. So we hope you enjoyed that installment of this video series. We hope you learned something about the recruitment process, the requirements, the application process. We hope you really enjoyed listening to one of our new officers that has recently gone through all that process and is in the training process. If you have more questions or comments or concerns on what it takes to become a police officer with the City of Sioux Falls, we would encourage you to contact the Human Resource Office. We'll have their phone number and their email listed. Reach out to them for any more clarification on the process of becoming a police officer with the City of Sioux Falls. We encourage you to stay tuned for our next video, which is going to highlight the canine section. We're going to meet the canines and their handlers. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.